What's good, guys? It is your Boston Brits, and you know who is with me by now. You should all know it's the basketball ass himself, Mr. Josh Coyne. Josh, how are you, man?
I'm very well. I'm glad that the nickname lives on, and I'm ready to try something a little bit different today.
Exactly. So we are doing something a little bit different today. We are doing something in conjunction with NBA2K UK. And as we all know, as Celtics fans, this Sunday, Kevin Garnett's jersey gets put up in the rafters. And to be honest, I'm actually gutted I can't go. Josh, I mean, obviously I know you're gutted you can't go as well. Mine due to legality issues with my passport, and it kind of ran out, which was kind of on me. But yeah. So we're here today to do a special video. We are going to do the 08-07 Boston Celtics versus the 03-04 Timberwolves. Josh is the Timberwolves. Of course I am the Celtics. And yeah, Josh, I mean, are you excited?
I'm incredibly excited. It'll be a nice experiment to see kind of what the MVP level KG does against the kind of stalwart leader, heartbeat of the team, Boston Celtics version of Kevin.
For sure.
Garnett.
And I think what we're going to do as well throughout this, me and Josh, it's kind of like with how we do our podcast, we like to talk about certain topics. And with this video, what we're going to do is we've got a topic for each and every quarter. Josh, do you want to tell the listeners what we're going to be doing?
So we're going to talk a little bit about KG's career in general. We're going to talk, based on the responses we've had online, we're going to talk a little bit about UK Celtics or basketball fans' favourite moments from KG, and talk a little bit about how he would fit in the modern Boston Celtics team.
Yeah, and then obviously on top of that as well, we're going to talk a little bit about the current Celtics and the incredible run that we are currently on. Come out of nowhere, no idea. But anyway, let's jump straight into the game and let's get going.
Let's go.
Okay, right. So let's get straight to it, Josh. What jersey are you picking? And are you sticking with that lineup?
You know what? I am going to stick with the lineup because honestly, my knowledge of this team is basically entry level. So I've just got to go with the flow. And let's just face it, it's going to be all KG anyway. In terms of uniform, I'm thinking I really like the black 98-08 alternative kit with the green. I guess it's like a tree-based trim to fit with the I don't know, the local vibe of Minnesota. So I'm going to go for that. I'm going black and green, and you're going the inverse of that, essentially, by the looks of it.
Yeah, I mean, I love that look. To be fair, the one jersey which always reminds me of KG is that, you know, the green jersey with the gold trim. They're kind of like the St. Paddy's Day kind of jersey. I don't know why. I have no idea why it reminds me of KG, but it just does. But anyway, we're going to roll with this, and I think we should just jump straight into the game, mate.
You've definitely got the better overall team, but I've got that kind of more arguably more exciting version of KG himself.
Yeah, I think so. I think you've got that young you've got that young KG, which is he was an absolute powerhouse, wasn't he? Like just full of beans, full of electric. And I've kind of got the fine-tuned version of KG. Oh, we start with three. We start with a three.
The truth right out of the gate.
Now, we've got a KG versus KG matchup here. Who's going to get the best of them?
Okay, I think that might be edited out.
Right, so let's start off this first quarter. Let's talk a little bit about KG. As a Celtics fan growing up, Josh, you probably, you've watched the Celtics. We're similar ages, aren't we? So, we've kind of grown up watching the KG, the Ray, Rondo, and all those guys kind of coming to fruition. And obviously the 08 championship being the highlight, it's a special honour to get up into the rafters, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, he's unbelievable. He's a Celtics legend, and it's in, comparatively to a lot of like basketball legends, it's in a small window, as a small sample size of his career was actually in Boston. But the impact that he had was unmistakable. He was the heartbeat of the team. he changed, basically transformed the identity of the team. But yeah, he's a huge Boston legend, and rightly so. For me personally, he was essentially the entry point, that 08 team. I grew up watching random clips of Boston Celtics basketball through my dad, but in terms of my own personal experience of watching live basketball and being like inspired by it, I suppose that kind of championship run with KG, Paul Pierce, and Ray Allen was the one for me. Just to let you know as well, I have had a horrific KG quarter here, and now he's already off.
Oh, that was a great block, though.
Maximum respect to people who do the kind of blogging and playing at the same time thing with regularity, because it's
quite hard, isn't it? It's quite hard.
It's an unbelievable display of multitasking.
This video is definitely for the casual 2K player, because we are absolutely having a nightmare on. It's 10-8, and where are we? Almost at the end of the first, aren't we?
Yeah, we're not playing at our best here, trying to talk. This is like that Spider-Man meme. Here we go. Spider-Man meme, here we go. Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about, the current Celtics at the moment. We're on an insane run at the moment. And yeah, it's a bit of a surreal one, isn't it? Because we're not used to this whole winning malarkey, are we?
I tell you what, I started to believe that us talking together on Zoom was a bit of a curse, because as soon as we started doing that, the Celtics became unbelievably bad. Last year, during we call them the Fournier years, or are we calling them the Jeff Teague years?
We're calling them the Jeff Teague years. I think we've mentioned Jeff Teague too many times.
The Jeff Teague era. But since then, it was problematic. And then obviously the start they went on this year was so negative. But now I feel as though they've really kind of bought into Ime's philosophy, his culture, his way of defense first, constant switching, really dynamic defense. I feel like they're a different team once they've basically figured it out. And I think that Ime was essentially letting them find it out the hard way, which, goodness me, has it paid off.
I mean, people are it's creeping in, Josh. It's creeping into my mind that, we might have a chance at a deep playoff run if we keep this up. But hey, look, we've spoken about the current Celtics. Let's get back to KG. Now, Josh, you wanted to have a little chat, I believe, about how you think KG will fit within any team at the moment in the current NBA.
Well, the main thing is the fitting in the Boston Celtics. So we've spoken a lot, especially when kind of times were harder earlier in the season, as to kind of what the perfect complementary player is. We spoke to Sean Grande about it. We spoke to Mark D'Amico about it. Who is the guy that we would love to see, if we could somehow attain him? And there was a lot of talk about kind of online about Karl Anthony Towns would be the guy, but how much would you have to give up, etc. The absolute kind of prototype for the guy that would really help this team with the wings that we have is KG, isn't it? The versatility, the kind of inside out game that he provides you, his kind of unbelievable defense and the way that he can anchor a defense. That was certainly a thought that kind of crept into my mind earlier this year before Boston really set it up and became basically the best defense in the league. And then it was like, okay, don't need anybody.
We're at the end of the third quarter. It's 24-19. That kind of speaks volumes of our capabilities.
You know what it is, right? I feel as though we're much better players, but the talking's obviously affecting it. What we need to do is to just sit there alone by ourselves, talking whilst playing, which, funnily enough, is something that KG used to do to kind of improve his ability to defend and become a really elite level team defender. He used to run on the beach, which is hard enough in itself and knackering enough in itself. And he'd just talk to himself. And he said that people used to look at him strange because he'd be like on Santa Monica Beach or whatever in the summer, just screaming and shouting to himself whilst running in the sand, probably for about 10K. Yeah. There's not many people like it.
As we're in the final quarter, Josh, let's mix this up a bit, all right?
Okay.
Shall we do a quarter? The rest of the quarter, we can only score with KG.
Yeah, I'm in.
Let's do it. So we can only score with KG in this quarter. Let's talk a little bit about KG's, our favourite moments of KG, and obviously other people's as well. But yeah, so what? The bank is open.
He shot a bank out the double. That is unbelievable.
The bank is open.
Do you want me to start? I'll start with mine.
It's a Tuesday, isn't it?
It's a Tuesday as we record.
He's cashed that check, mate.
I will start with mine then. I've got 3.
Go for it.
One is the moment in the Game 6 of the 2008 finals against the Lakers where they shifted momentum for the comeback.
Yeah.
There's this play where he drives on Lamar Odom. Lamar Odom hits him, and as he draws the contact, and then as he's falling, he's basically half the way to the floor. He still somehow makes some kind of bank layup, and it's unbelievable. It's like a real momentum shifter.
Here's to Garnett. Garnett inside, backs it in, and a foul. What a play from Kevin Garnett.
My second is I really loved. I think in the 2010 playoffs.
Yeah.
When Boston beat the Atlanta Hawks, and he does this post-game thing that's the most intense thing you'll ever see. And he says, like, this is for the naysayers and the owners that talk too much. Yeah. It was like, no one really knew what he was saying. Combine that as well with the time when he kind of addressed the TNT stuff, and he said, it's a bar fight, Craig, because he was, and he was saying, ask Chuck, he's been in a bar fight.
Bar fight, Craig. Bar fight. Tonight was a bar fight, man. We knew that was going to come in with a lot of energy. Tonight was a bar fight. You ever been in a bar fight? Ask Charles. He's been in a bar fight.
And then finally, just the moments when he's talking to Craig Sager, who he had such a great kind of playful relationship with, and he'd be like criticizing his clothes, telling him to go burn his shoes. Yeah, awesome.
Also, I mean, for me, it's always been KG's in terms of his intensity and his trash talking. He was always known in the NBA. Oh, jeez! What did he say? And one of my favourite moments was, in 2013, when we played the Knicks, KG and Melo were just going at it the whole game. The rumour has it that as they...
This is not safe for work, but go on.
As they came to blows... I'll make it.
Oh, get it out!
Make it safe for work. As they came to blows, basically, KG he ended up saying that Lala tasted like Honey Nut Cheerios, and then when he used to argue with Chuck,
how about that?
KG got his shirt out, man.
No, he couldn't tuck his shirt in if we had snitching, Chuck.
Wait, hey, snitches get stitches.
Stop snitching, Chuck.
You, man?
Well, just for the record, KG, it's no big deal to score no 40-year-old man.
Say what? Hey, I thought you was asleep.
It's no big deal. They buzzing.
Hey,
hit the cuss button.
Shaq, put some skinny jeans on Chuck and walk around.
First of all, hey, you're the only grown 40-year-old man who wears skinny jeans, Kevin.
Hey, Chuck. Making it look good, Chuck. Making it look good, Chuck. This ain't for guys, Chuck.
the guy is funny. And then when he made, obviously, Glenn Davis, obviously you know how he got the nickname Big Baby, and that's all because of KG.
No, you're right. And it didn't sound like he was much fun to hang around with, but on the court, it's exactly who you needed as a leader. I'm sure he's much more chilled out now.
He was ruthless. Let's be honest, yeah. He was ruthless.
That was a great story. If you wanted more insight on some of those kind of inside stories from players, obviously go back and listen to our Leon Poe and Mark D'Amico, Sean Grande interviews. They were there during the 08 run. So, well, how do you feel about that, Nathan?
Well, to be honest with you, mate, because I was talking, I completely forgot we were playing 2K, and I've kind of regret the absolute atrocity of which I've just put up. So I apologise to the 08 Celtics team, because that was absolutely dreadful. But yeah.
But what we did see is that in both generations, KG was an absolute baller.
Yeah, for me, I feel it was a privilege to be able to watch KG, who fully deserves to have his number put into the rafters.
Yeah, I mean, it's a completely justified jersey retirement. I'm glad it's happening in Boston. He was a one-in-a-kind player. He was able to tap into a dimension of intensity that basically no one else in the league has been able to since. Certainly very few. He was dynamic. He had basically a flawless offensive game, especially in the earlier part of his career, as I just showcased to Nathan. And then he became this kind of spiritual leader and this kind of culture setter in Boston, who led from the back, unbelievable kind of pioneer of the defense. And like I said, in such a short spell within Boston, comparatively, it's not like he spent a decade in Boston. he was able to have such a massive kind of impact on the team and the club, and he left like a real serious kind of cultural imprint within the city of Boston.
He did, and like we said earlier, mate, like it's gutting that we can't be there. And I always did say that I wanted to get over there if KG did have his jersey retired, but anyway, it's something which is fully deserved. And you know, KG, if you're ever going to watch this, which you may not, you know, massive congratulations. And from all Celtics fans around the world, we thank you for, you know, everything that you brought to the organisation. And yeah, Josh, I mean, is there anything else you want to add before we end the video?
Finally, I would just like to say, I take it back, KG. If you are watching it, if you do rewatch this, then I absolutely would like to hang out with you. And thank you very much for Uncut Gems.
Anyway, that is it for mine and Josh's, you know, first 2K video. I can promise you that the gameplay will only get better. We hope, especially from my part as well. So apologies for that, Celtics fans. Obviously, we're going to throw this up on YouTube and 2K as well. Thank you for letting us guys do this bit of content. Like I said, me and Josh are going to be doing some stuff in the park soon. We're going to be walking around, you know, we're going to be doing an episode for all the people that love shopping. Anyway, guys, thank you for tuning in. Really appreciate it. Remember to like, subscribe, share any way you can. That's only ever going to help me and Josh. And once again, it's been your Boston Brit. I'm the basketball ass. Till next time, peace.